to the relationship.
Coming.
It is coming. But I'm going to tell you now because...
But Toya's early on everything.
That's what it is, right? It's
showing
the
up
week.
to do the podcast.
You know what?
Oh,
I'm
my
a little
goodness.
How about
Everything
happy
else.
birthday? You know
Happy birthday!
Come on,
And to our producer, Mama too.
We actually thought, since you're getting so old, that it's not good
You don't want to say it anymore?
It's like
No, I mean,
ignoring
Say it
is
forever,
better.
Jason.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm used to wishing myself a happy birthday. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You guys carry on with the show. I'll sit over here.
That's good. Are you going to get a new Hebrew tattoo or anything
Might
for
get
your
an
birthday?
earring. Might bring all that back.
Oh, man.
You should do a Scottish tattoo of some kind.
Scottish.
Yeah, Scottish.
Scottish.
Yes.
Well, why not?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Good. Well, you could do it in Hebrew. You could do, I eat because I'm unhappy, and I'm unhappy because I eat. You could do that in Hebrew. That's what I'm going to say. I'll be like, this back here is Aramaic for
get whatever you want.
Belly.
I was about to say, is this Goldfinger? Trying to keep up. But we're going to continue on with our series.
Church taboo stuff.
Exactly. This is our fourth and final, and we are going to be talking about money, prenups, and marriage, of course.
Money.
Marriage.
Money. Prenups. I like prenups. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Money, prenups, and marriage.
So, let me tell you what I think about money.
Oh, tell us.
Oh, okay.
We were at a family gathering last week, and we were talking about introverts and extroverts.
Okay.
And this guy told me in a mind, because I'm the extrovert, he's the introvert, and he was like, but it's good, us introverts, he's looking at a mod, he's like, we need extroverts to pull us out. Like, we need that. It's a good balance. And
when they want to, otherwise they're annoyed by it.
Okay.
But anyway,
let's come back.
Okay.
But that's how I feel about money. Like, you need a spender, you need a saver. Like, you need to just balance each other out. And it's just like,
I'm going to go ahead and agree to disagree on that.
I told you this is my opinion.
I've never seen two savers arguing about finances. So
but are they living? Are they living? Are they doing things?
Because
you have two
they both
savers?
love saving and they see value in it. So the number in their savings account going up is like excitement to them, and there's not this push pull of, dude, you spend money, you shouldn't spend money, you're so tight.
But I mean a healthy balance, not a stressful balance.
I think a healthy balance is hard to strike. Because you have different perspectives. I would say those differences probably cause more problems for couples than they do create a good complementarity. But I mean, I don't want to rain on your
he's
an overthinker. Don't worry about it.
I know he is. He's just too much. So I am a spender.
Toya is saying somebody is too much.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a spender,
right.
But I do like to save, and I don't want to throw away money. So our good balance is, okay, we need to pick a place to go once a quarter. It's not a big deal. Once a quarter. It doesn't necessarily mean plane tickets. It just means we're going to get out of the Metroplex. Okay. So it's like, let's
Come
do
to
that.
Mexico.
We need to.
Go.
Yeah.
We need to.
Let's go.
But that's where it's like, but if it weren't for me speaking up and saying, hey, we need to spend some money and travel. I need this. I need it for peace of mind. Otherwise, he would say, no, we're just going to continually save and save and save and
Mom's
save.
going to keep stacking. Be like, sit yourself down. I get you a little sun lamp. Here, look, here's a picture of a palm
play
tree.
Eric clips, question and answer clips. You were there in Mexico.
Absolutely.
Just remember in marriage, it's just, you just got to be selfless. So sometimes you just got to spend. That's all I got to say. What do you have to say?
Not all the ideas of Toya are representative of the relationship as a whole. So I can't wait to hear the episode Fowler does where it's all your clips. Like, we've
done that before. We don't have to do it again, Jason. We've done it.
Couple with credit card debt. Sometimes you just got to spend.
Oh no, I'm healthy though. Like we don't have any credit card debt.
Yeah,
so
but we're taking stuff out of context. We're not applying. Yeah, this is the goal. Is not to put your words in context. Just like what we've been talking about this whole series.
Oh, here we go.
If we're going to address something biblically.
I'm just over here wishing myself happy birthday.
What do you mean, here we go? We're going to a good place. Do you need a moment?
Show,
do you want us to sing to you?
No, you're fine.
He's like wallowing over here, this guy. Like,
I wasn't expecting
my gosh,
that was so
do I need to bring your dad in?
You know the story, right? I was locked in the basement for Christmas.
We don't celebrate birthdays.
We did talk about that he only came out for Christmas.
Right, basement. I was in the basement,
So if you would have come out for your birthday and Christmas,
did they combine
would the birthday have felt better? Would we not be having the wallowing we're having right now if they let you out of birthdays too?
Well, that would have been nice. That'd have been a good birthday present.
You're freaking old now. Who cares about your birthday? Why is this so sad?
You're still important, Jason.
I'll be all right.
You know what?
Happy birthday.
Get him a cake or something. This is embarrassing.
Yeah. Don't worry about me.
Really,
I'll be fine.
Money. So here's the thing. People are funny about money.
They are funny about money.
I agree.
So we're trying to go Bible on this stuff, right?
Okay, let's do it.
Money's not evil. The love of money is the root of evil.
That's right.
Biblically. So when money becomes an idol, when greed is a part of your life as it pertains to money, money's unhealthy.
That's right.
But as an object, it's neutral. Right? Because it also says, that you should use the wealth of the wicked for kingdom purposes, right? Yeah. So it's not that it's against it. The problem with a lot of couples is how they handle it.
Right.
So let's talk about that. I'm going to get your perspective on this. More and more premarital couples that I'm counseling, so a lot because there's quite a few getting married later.
Yeah.
And then there's quite a few getting remarried.
Okay.
Last week's show. That I'm finding more and more of them don't want to combine their finances.
Ooh.
Really?
What do you guys think about couples combined and separated finances?
I mean, we have separated, but not. So I'm on her account.
Okay.
She's on my accounts. But she has hers because she, spends for whatever, with kid stuff or whatever, and then I have things that I spend for. And so it's just easier and more convenient for me to not go, hey, I need to pay this and all this stuff. So we know what each other has. And we're on the accounts.
Do you guys, are bills and obligations divided and split?
Yeah. I mean, there's certain things she takes care of, groceries, things like that. And then I'll pay bills out of mine.
So there's an agreement on you own this stuff and I own this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how we.
So then what happens if one of you is short or not able to own their stuff in a given month? What happens?
I don't know. That hasn't happened. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, sure. If it came to that, whatever, I would give her some. I would send her money, or she would probably do the same for me.
Would you have a problem asking her for help, or would you feel the obligation to own your stuff on your own and just be like, I'm just going to figure this out, and whatever it takes, I don't need to go to her and ask.
Couldn't I have a problem asking anybody for help?
Okay, so that there's potential that the division of finances for you could cause, I'm going to say secrecy, but not secrecy in deceit and dishonesty, but just you don't know the weight of what I'm trying to deal with because this is my issue.
Sure. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
What do you think about combined versus separate?
I like combining. Now, we do have separate accounts. I think we talked about this before. So we have our separate accounts. It's like our fun money accounts. But we have our house account where everything goes. And that's where bills are paid and all of that. But I like the idea of keeping it together because I feel like it's more of us together. It's more of us working together, more of us sacrificing, serving each other together. It's that whole thing. But that's me, because I know I definitely talked about this before on my Instagram, and I had a friend of mine call me.
I'm always on your Instagram, so I probably remember this.
A friend of mine called me, and she was just like, well, I don't really agree with this. She's like, me and my husband have been married, over 10 years, and our finances are completely separate. We go half on the mortgage, and he pays cable, I pay cell phone, or, it's like everything was dut. Right. And that way, like, if she wanted to go shopping or get her hair done, like, that was her money. And when he wanted to buy his stuff, like his boats or, whatever he does for his fun money, then he had his. So she's like, what worked for them was to keep it totally separate. And I was just like, well, I mean, I hear you. And I'm glad. Thank you for letting me know, because I didn't know anybody. She had never told me that before. And she was like, yeah, but ours is totally separate. And I said, well, I guess, that works, because you're both able to do your own things. And this is my money. This is what I'm doing. And you have no say. And that works for them. But I was like, that wouldn't work for me.
So my question would be why?
Right.
Why do you want that set up?
Yeah.
Because I think most of the time, if we honestly answer that, it's going to be a fear issue. It's going to be I don't like people telling me what to do issue. I don't want to be controlled issue. I don't fully trust them issue.
Right.
I mean, because otherwise it's like, so it's working for them. But I'm also like, it also is allowing you to not have to compromise at times, to not have to have hard conversations at times, to not hold each other accountable at times. So I'm like, now they're getting away with it, right? So I mean, it's like anything else. Like when we were talking about the sexual intimacy retreat, right? It's like there's some couples that would say they got a good sex life, right? But their desire and draw to sex to one another may be born out of an unhealthy root. But it's like, our dysfunction works because I'm using it to feel close to you, and you're using it to, get a dopamine hit to ward off the depression you're struggling. You know what I mean? It's like, but hey, man, it's working for us both because we're good. But okay, cool. Yeah. But the source is not, and that's where I just wonder, will there? I feel like certain things like that work when everything is ideal. Yes. But I wonder what happens what if one of them was out of work for 4 months and did not have like the savings to cover me for 4 months or something like that. What would happen now? Right. Would there be resentment? Well, now I'm having to sacrifice because you lost your job, or would there be unity around, dude, I got you. Like, look, come on over, check this out. Yeah. I just wonder. Yeah. What the why? I always want to know the why. What's the drive? Because I just feel like it leaves too many areas for division. I would say it this way: the more areas in marriage where you leave room for division, the more problems you're gonna have. And I'm like, okay, so you guys can be united over having sex with each other. You can be united over fill in the blank of all these areas, but when it comes to your money, you ain't gonna be united. So I'm good with you. I trust you. I want to connect to you here, and here, but over here, nah, bro.
So they have access to the account, each other's account?
I don't know.
I mean, because there's another problem right there of as far as, I mean, like anytime Lisa can access mine, I can access hers. But that just opens the door of other temptation of they don't know what I'm spending my money on, and I can run you down a road of
So I don't know, because she did say they split the mortgage. So that was another thing where I was like, okay, so you're splitting that, and then you assign the other bills. But
that
that's
seems
where
weird to me. I mean, I guess everybody's got the. I mean, if it works,
just like so. For instance, you're splitting those, right? And so I got cell phone. We each got our own car note, right? So there's some. Independence and decision making on that. It's like, well, I don't want a $600 car note, so I'm gonna do a $300. But you're fine having $600, so
that's
cool.
What you want,
But again, I think if it's like, well, you make more money than me, and so like, I wish I had a nicer car, but I don't have the extra margin you do, so that kind of like seems not fair. Kind of thing. But then I wonder if, so let's say I got the cell phone bills and you got the electric, and the electric doubles.
Right.
So now you're paying an extra $400 a month or something, and my cell phone has not changed. And so it's like, okay, so now I have, we're one, but I've got less free margin than you have, so I'm missing out on stuff while you're balling and living
I'm
your
paying
best
the electric
life.
And you're the one leaving the lights on.
Right, exactly. And so it's like, I'm over here, I now have to pay an extra $300 a month on power, and nobody in the house seem to care. They're leaving the house on all the time, and then you just walk in with a new, $2,000 purse, and I'm like a little bit salty because I'm like, dang, I'm kind of like I'm struggling a little bit over here, and I just think
splitting the bills. I don't know. I mean, like in our situation, we kind of just developed that way because when we got remarried, which is last show,
and I think there are some differences to that because there's some obligations tied to the first marriage or kids that may
and
not.
I kind of cover the bills. I mean, I basically cover, so we don't split bills or anything. I kind of cover the bills, and hers is kind of kid stuff and food and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like the incidental stuff.
Yeah, incidental stuff.
So I'm going to give you 5 reasons I think couples who are not combined should consider it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let's see.
So number 1 is transparency builds intimacy. So, knowing what each other's doing, knowing what each other's got. I also think it eliminates the need for a conversation. Like if you can see all the money I can see, you got to be a lot more effective communicating about finances if you're not shared, because anything you don't communicate can look deceptive, can look anything. And so it's like in any area of our life where there's full transparency, there's going to be intimacy. I feel comfortable. I feel like I know. So I think separateness I already said this basically, but separateness in any area of the relationship leads to more division, period. There's just more room for issues. I think it increases the me versus we mentality. I think the more opportunity that's not my fault that you couldn't cover your car note. Like I didn't tell you to get a $500 car note if you'd have been more conservative and have $300. So I shouldn't have to pay for the fact that you thought you wanted the extra, or you made a bad decision with your finances. And so now I'm paying, you know, and so it pits us against each other. Can you lend me some money this month? Cause things are tight. I didn't get the bonus I thought I was going to get at work, and I was counting on that for this, and now it's not. And then our vacation is like, well, you make more than me, so you should we contribute to vacation percentage wise or straight dollar wise? Because it's a bigger sacrifice for me. I think it allows for accountability. That would be number 4. Man, we need some accountability. Right? So some people, this would be the only area where I would say some separation or control is important. If you got somebody who fundamentally has bad spending habits, who runs up credit card, then they shouldn't have access the way that other people do. But I think it allows accountability. And then the other one is it eliminates income disparities. So I think you've already got power dynamics in all relationship. And it's like if one of you's making twofold what the other one's making, but you're separate on stuff, that's a huge income disparity that's going to play out in all kinds of areas. I feel like I got to ask you for an allowance. I feel like I have to beg you when I need stuff. It's like, dude, who wants to do that with the person you're supposed to be one with? And it should be like, if I'm making 200 and you're making 100, like I should want you to be wherever I am and whatever. So it shouldn't be like I'm looking out for me. Yeah, it should be we make 300.
You're right.
Not I make 2 and you make 1, bro. I mean, it's like, hey. So I think it when you're combined, it's like we make, not you make and I make, and it'll close that gap. So I outside of the extreme exceptions where there may be one, and I know some people are doing it out of pain. Like I was controlled in my last relationship by money, and I'm never going to let somebody do that to me again. And, outside of some of the extremes where it may make sense as we're trying to build trust and heal, I just can't see a whole lot of good reasons for not combining.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, there you go.
Mushroom belt.
Oh my goodness.
Belt on that.
And then prenup.
Yeah, let's talk prenups.
Well, wait. Before we get into prenups, we'll get into prenups.
Okay.
This has got a thick sweatshirt. I just noticed. I think it's when you leaned forward. I was like, you got a bit. Oh, The Chosen.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, there's a bunch of fish swimming in a what looks kind of like a thorny crown that was
nice.
So much symbolism in there. Are there, I'm not going to count the green, but are there 12?
There could be. Count them. I don't know. I've never counted the green.
Oh, yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Have you ever watched it?
10,
you got through the
I think there's 12. There's 12 light fish.
There you go.
Blue fish, and the rest are gray.
Well,
there's so much symbolism there.
Yes.
I feel blessed.
You should.
Won't he do it? Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
you should feel blessed.
Okay, so what were you going to say before I got distracted with your sweatshirt?
We're getting into prenup stuff.
Yeah.
And I figure we got to have examples of people who have done it, probably done it right, wrong. But I mean, why wouldn't you go to Hollywood for your example?
Why
Absolutely.
not?
Why wouldn't
you're
celebrities have it done?
Figure out a biblical model for a relationship, you're going to go straight to Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Exactly.
Screams Hollywood. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read these prenups.
Okay, we got a list here. So.
And you're going to tell me whose prenup this is.
All right.
All right.
Oh.
So you got your list.
So you're going to describe the prenup that was created, and we have to tell you which couple that you sent us. Okay.
That's that easy. Are you ready for this one?
Yes.
Come on, you're on a roll.
All right.
All right, here we go. There's no food involved, but you got this.
End the year with a bang. You've had more victories in the fourth quarter of 2022 than you have.
Been pretty good to you.
Probably your whole life.
Wow,
I would
your
think.
whole life.
I'm here. Let's go.
Okay.
That's all right. All right, here we go. Here's the first prenup. Because of her fear of getting fat, it was in the prenup that if the husband cheats, she gets $500,000.
Her fear of getting fat.
She was afraid when they married, if she got fat.
Oh, she was real worried about gaining weight.
Her gaining weight.
And she thought her gaining weight would lead to the infidelity.
Cheating. Yes.
Wow.
What do you think?
I'm not feeling good about this.
What do you got?
Okay,
go with your gut.
I'll say Lamar and Chloe.
Oh, that was the one I was looking at. So I'm going to go Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo.
This one would be Timberlake and Jessica Biel.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised at that
That's
too.
crazy.
Yep. I was surprised at that too.
Come on.
Yeah,
They're a couple you got to like. They seem to be pretty healthy. I mean, interesting.
You like them. They just got a weird prenup. So.
That's sad.
All right, here we go. This couple agreed that he would earn $640,000 every year that they were married. It would go into an account. Mm-hmm. And if he used illegal drugs, she would get all of it.
Nice. I'm going to go Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I'll go with Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman.
It's Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman.
What in the world?
It is. Look at that.
Did he used to have a drug problem?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
I was trying to decide between that one and like Brad Pitt, but interesting.
Yeah, drug problem.
Wow,
okay, here we go.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right, now she gets $5 million for every baby she has, and $1 million for every year that they're married if they divorce.
Kanye and Kim.
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Beyonce, Jay-Z.
Oh, she's killing me over here.
You got more?
That's good.
All right, here we go.
And
Really?
I'm guessing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Beyonce, Jay-Z. All right. This couple broke up before the prenup. All right. They were writing the prenup, planning on us. They broke up before the prenup.
Tony Romo and Jessica Simpson.
Not yet. We'll see.
No?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Here's what it said. That the husband said that he gets $500,000 for every pound she gains over 135 pounds. The gasp. Did you hear the gasp from the back of the room?
Ooh.
Yep.
Lamar and Chloe.
Yeah, that's Lamar and Chloe.
That is Tony Romo and Jessica Simpson.
Oh, no way. I was gonna go that, but I was like, would Tony really do that?
Yeah, there you go.
What a jackwad. I just lost respect for Tony.
There's Tony.
Tony's out.
Yeah. I mean, it's
well, I still get it because I said it first.
There, is that what it is?
No,
okay,
you switch, girl.
All right, here we go. In this prenup, she gets $500,000 each year that they're married, a new car every time the lease is up, $5,000 a month for shopping allowance, $25,000 a month for support, and $1,000 a month for beauty supplies.
Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan.
Michael Douglas and Catherine.
Lamar Odom, Khloe Kardashian. Yep. All right, last one. Come on, we'll make this triple the points.
Okay,
you can win.
Sounds good.
You can
make it come back.
All right, here we go.
For Eric to win.
Hey, this is what we did.
I'm already
This is what
winning.
we did with you for decades.
Triple. We're going to triple the points right here.
So you could win.
Triple the
Goodness.
points. All right. So this prenup requires that she gets 100 minutes of alone time and one date night per week with her husband. During their alone time, it states that they're not allowed to look at social media or their phones at all. In the prenup.
Wow.
Yeah. Not a bad prenup.
Michael Douglas.
I'm going to go with Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg. I guess
Oh, don't call it a comeback.
And that makes sense because he's Facebook.
He's Facebook.
So it's like, and that's why
probably
she's
when
like,
they got
no.
married, he doesn't have all the money he has now.
Yes, it's true.
Probably.
That's
So,
true. So there you go.
Wow. Prenups.
I mean,
Awesome.
You did good.
I like it.
Yeah.
So what about prenups for Christians? I hear some people that would say that is Christians should not have prenups.
What would the church teach?
Because, well, I'm saying a lot of church people would say because that means you're already planning for a divorce. The fact that you want a prenup already shows you do not have a covenant mindset. So you've got the wrong perspective on what God's design is. So there should never be a prenup if you're a Christian.
Yep.
I don't agree, but
No?
that's what I hear a lot. What do you guys think?
I think it depends. I mean, because if you have done a lot, you have a lot of money. I feel like you do have to, but because I mean, a prenup is completely custom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that it's like you're getting nothing. It's just
look, there are factors, right? There's so
Yeah.
many factors that can go
Yeah,
into
it's
this.
just so much.
If my dad was Zuckerberg and I had all this money going in, and I mean, and it's tied to the family, not just necessarily my money, but
Right.
estates and tied to the family. Is it fair that if we get divorced, you get
Right.
half of my family's estate?
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Right.
there's an issue there.
So I think the two things that would apply to prenups for me, one would be motive, right?
Right.
If a prenup is driven by your emotions, your past pain, your need for control, some of those other things, that's not healthy, right? That's not, if it's selfishness, if that's not. But I think and a lot of like Dave Ramsey, people who are in Christian Financial would say that there are some situations when prenups make sense. And so I'll just give 4 quick. One, they would say, is extreme assets, which you say,
Right.
and it's not even so much about the couple, but it's what they've recognized over time that it's often the spouse.
Okay.
So you're protecting, let's say I got a bunch of money in Toya and I marry. It's not so much I don't trust her, but her family now feels an obligation and an entitlement to the money, which now puts her in a position of having where if she can just draw a hard line and say, we have a prenup and I don't have access to that.
Right.
Now we've moved the family out of it kind of thing. And so that's one of the ones they say.
Makes
Prior
sense.
business, which is kind of, what you were saying, which is, there's other people involved, right? I got a family business and I employ 57 people and to give you half of the business and you divorce me and now all these people are out of a job because you tank the company because you own, it's about more than just the couple involved. I think the other one is significant debt. If a whole bunch of that has been incurred before the marriage, that burden should not be on the new spouse. Now, if the spouse wants to help out, cool. But I think that there's got to be some level of responsibility and ownership for what came.
I like that because that's
came
good
before.
for more of the common couples, right?
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
whole
for
lot
sure.
of debt.
Yeah, where it's like that may be part of the prenup. Like I don't own all your stuff. Now I may want to help you with it because I care about you, but I'm not responsible for that. And then the last one is just like inheritance or trust funds for children. It may be that you had a bunch of trust funds for your kids from the first marriage before you got married again. It's like the new wife should not get to circumvent promises
That were already made.
to kids down the road and have access to that kind of stuff. So
Right.
those are generally the exceptions people would say. But at the end of the day, it's got to go back to motive, man. If the heart is wrong about why I'm trying to do this, that's a completely different issue than using wisdom.
But the heart is deceitfully wicked.
Yeah, look at him. He remembers scripture
like
from
that?
our last, not from reading, from our last session.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Well, thank y'all
Money.
so much
Money,
for
money,
joining
money.
us. Money prenups.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Boom.
If you have questions, just comment, leave it below. We'll get to you.
Go.
And
get to
then
you.
past
We'll get to you.
episodes number 111. Should the breadwinner have more control in the marriage?
Oh, I forgot we
Or
did that.
a real throwback, episode 5, how to handle money in your relationship.
What? 5?
Wow.
We were just babies
Yeah, don't
back then.
judge the way that sounds.
We were, yeah,
But that was early.
It was there.
And that's
Happy
the
New
podcast.
Year coming up.
Yes,
Happy
and
New
Happy
Year.
New Year. All right,
Happy
we are
birthday.
out.
Oh, happy
Yes.
birthday. Oh, we forgot about Jason.
Jason and Ahmad. Yes.
Well done. Happy birthday.
Bye.